when I came here for the first time, I was aware that the most urgent stuff to rescue were the petroglyphs, the carvings that were placed here in this wall, big wall, lava wall, and it was urgent because during the month of June, where we are now, they will be exploded and lost forever. Wow! First time I thought it's impossible, but after I was not anymore frightened after the scare you say passed away. I thought maybe possible. I knew a person who is a geologist who is here now. I knew his work was near to the needs to extract the petroglyph. I contacted him while I was here in St. Vincent that first week of April. Well, he answered happily that he had the correct people to do this work, he and a team. And well, we convoked, and a month and a half later, we arrived to do this work.
And the Roman Catholic Church, when it came to St. Vincent, decided this was a good place to put their shrine, which meant that they probably thought there was some competition between the gods of the indigenous people and the Christian God.
The process began on 26 May when we arrived this place, this area work, and well, it was the first time my colleagues were in front of the wall. I had been before, but it was the first time, and they were calculating some stages of the work through photographs only.
A través de las fotos que me manda Mónica por internet, veo la estructura de la roca y me doy cuenta que es una roca volcánica, un basalto, por las características de la estructura que presenta, ¿no? De fluidez. Todas esas como olas de roca son típicas de las rocas volcánicas. Cuando vi la posición de los bloques, el principal que estaba allí, observé que había una serie de líneas de estructura de la roca que me habían permitido que el agua durante miles de años se hubiera infiltrado ahí. Eso permite que uno pueda trabajar a través de esas líneas para extraer el bloque sin mayor dificultad.
I came about being on site basically because Samuel Tools Rental have tools on site, and because the project is so important and timely, my boss saw it fit for me to be here to take care of any sort of breaking down, keep the project rolling. And I'm grateful to be working along with the Argentinians. You show the interest in getting the work done a particular way and not any old how. You get to see the type of tools that they use, the way that they use the tools. I've never been exposed to rock blasting, but I've broken rocks before because we use an air compressor and a hammer drill. We drill a holes, we break the rocks and so forth. But the Argentinians will drill the hole and then they will use a hammer and a chisel and they would break the rock apart and get the same result. Now, that is something I definitely are going to incorporate in my work. If you use a hammer and a chisel and get the same work done out of it, you know, you may feel more proud of your work. It was a great cultural exchange because the Argentinians, we sat down and we had a few different meals. We happened to had a roast lamb on site, which I've never seen it done like that. A lamb killed on site, cooked slow roast per se for 4 hours, and it was wonderful. They made a sauce called a chimichurri, and that was wonderful. It was excellent. And also we had mate. I can say I'm mate loco. I love mate. It's just wonderful.
For me, it's natural that our neighbors in South America would want to do this, and it's interesting that these images that we're saving, they came from South America. You know, maybe not as far south as Argentina, but they came from South America. So for me, it's like bringing history full circle that we had a team from Argentina collaborate with Vincentians to save these images, which were images that originated from the Lower Orinoco.
Mate loco.
Nowadays we have taken out 7 blocks of petroglyphs, one big, somewhat smaller, and there's only one left, the biggest one. They are hanging in the top of the wall, and we are trying to get it in these last 3 days.
There's one remaining, but because of the time span and they don't have enough time to extract this rock, they see it fit, because I was with them from beginning, to have me on board and leave me in charge basically of taking care of this petroglyph, which I'm grateful. I've sat with Horatio and he's pointed out a few things to me to look for, and also Dario, and I'm mindful of these things that they want to have done, because if it's not done correctly, the whole project can be a fail.
Y 25 que tiene este son, perdón, 50, me equivoqué. Eso no se liberaba la pista, no. 3 kilómetros tiene el total de la pista.
And what was amazing is that Monica, the archaeologist, that she had this contact with a geologist, a personal contact, and this geologist really was just an expert in rocks. I mean, he'd never done a project like this before. He was used to dealing with rocks for commercial reasons, but because of his knowledge of the rocks, he was able to tell where the cracks were located and how deep you would have to drill in order to separate it out. I mean, his technical expertise, for example, as you indicated to me, when they did the explosion, which was done based on instructions that he left, all the rocks around the critical rock, everything else crumbled, but this rock didn't crumble. That is science, that is the expertise that the geologist brought to the project, which was absolutely essential. So it was a teamwork. It was led by an archaeologist who had the sensitivity about how the project needed to be done, and then these expert geologists who really understood how this rock worked.
Can't see it, just to clean.
Okay.
This one. So we'll be around here. Now this will be coming around. Will be the top. Yeah. And this will be the facial area of it. Because of the lighting, you may not see all the carvings that you should be seeing. So a different lighting, and maybe if the stone is slightly moist, you will see it much clearer. Okay, the next step, now that the rock is down, Monday morning we're going to come in, we're going to drill a series of holes, pour in the expansion cement to remove the portion of petroglyph that we want to keep from the piece of the rock that's going to remain. So that starts on Monday morning. No, not sharp. Anytime after 8. I know about the sharpness. I never sharpened at 8 yet.
Yes. Go the way that may seem it right unto you. This may